Yo, what's going on, guys? We're back with some more coding and we're going to get it started off today. Alright, let me open my text pad. Here we go. Let me open my documents on my desktop. It should be in Programs, Docs. 7, where's 8? Maybe I just put it in Documents. I did. My bad. Here we go. Alright. Let's open her up and see what we got. So today, guys, we're going to be starting a new thing, and this time we're going to be using we're going to use file inputs, but we're also going to be using them with our loops and stuff. All right. So, all right, here we go. Okay. All right. We got a little bit to go over, so let me highlight that. Copy it. Okay. Okay. Calm down. All right. Let me save that. Actually, why don't I just open it? Yeah, that's a better idea. No, I can't open it because I'm not sure which one it is. Okay, we'll just do this anyway. Alright. Save. We'll do as this YouTube. We're going to copy that, save it. V. Bang. Control 1. Alright. Alright, now let's run through this code. Let me just make sure. I just want to make sure it worked. Alright, this is, of course, was the top. We have always our intro for programming, and our goal of this program is to have the program to prompt a message for two positive integers, m and n, assuming they are both, assuming m is greater than 0 and n is greater than m. The program will perform the following task. It will output all the numbers from m to n, so all the numbers in between, including the numbers, to the monitor, and it will sum up all the numbers. So let's jump into this code. I'm going to import java.util.scanner. We're going to name our class as the objective we want to, as what we want to do, and I just named it m and n sum up. Of course, inside this class we have our first function, and this is just going to be our main function. We don't need any other functions for this. We're just going to have a public static void main. We're going to take a string of arguments, and inside here you can see I'm going to declare m as an integer and n as an integer, since it is asked for two positive integers. We're also going to have an integer sum. And the reason, okay, so the best thing in programming, you want to be smart with your declarations. Now, a lot of people I know will just be like, oh, well, double to be safe. But notice, if m and n is an integer and all we're doing is summing them up, it can only be an integer. So you might as well declare it as an integer and not take up that extra space. So we have our integer sum, and I have to pre-declare that as 0. System.out.println, please enter m and n. So here we're just asking them to enter m and then n. We're going to input, or now we're going to declare our scanner, a new object of scanner class, and we're going to use system in. And okay, so m equals input.next integer, n is going to equal input.next integer. So we're taking m, and then it's going to take n, and then for, and this, I don't know if I taught you guys, this is a for loop. A for loop will run as many times until this in here, this middle section, ceases to be true. So right here we have to declare our, you could say our for loop variable. You have to declare the variable of the for loop right here, and I'm going to have my variable equal to m. So this variable for the for loop is equal to m. As long as I is less than or equal to n, so basically m is less than or equal to n. And what this does is, so notice we're trying to find all the numbers from m to n. So the only way I can do this is by using this for loop, which is, I think I went over while loops and stuff before, but a for loop is a very specific kind of loop that's really useful. And so by using this, I can do from m all the way to n, perform these amount of tasks. And I++, that's post declaration. That means I is going to increase 1, or m is going to, oh, sorry, yeah. I is going to increase 1 until it gets to n. System.out.println I, sum plus equals I. And this can only work if the numbers are in the specific order. If you had a random array of numbers, this isn't going to work because it could be greater or it could be less or anything in between there. So just know that this can only, well, okay, if you're only taking two variables like I am here, then it's fine. But if you're going to do a file, you cannot do it in this way. Files, it will not handle it. All right, hope you guys understood that. So now we described the for loop. So as long as I is less than or equal to n, we're going to print out I, and we're going to, the sum is going to be plus equal to I. That means that the sum is equal to the sum plus I. This is just a short way of saying it. I could equally say this. Sum is equal to sum plus I. That would be the exact same thing. But I'm just using plus equals because it makes it easier. And then we're going to print out the sum is at the end after we've also printed out all the numbers. So I hope you guys can see this code. Oh, now we're going to run it. So M, I'm just going to say 23, and N, I'm going to say 40, 44, why not? And look at that, we 23, 44, it goes all the way down. So it goes all the way down, and then it goes, the sum is 737. All right, cool. Next on the list, have a new. As you can see here, it worked. I'm going to call this YouTube. Oh, now, hold up, hold your horses. Copy it, Control 1, share, Control V. Alright, it completed successfully. Alright, why does it say 8-2 doesn't exist? Because it doesn't exist. Yeah, sorry, let me fix that. I knew something was wrong. That should work. There we go, alright. Okay. Okay, so this is assignment 8, program 2. The goal is to have a program that will read a data file, specifically 8-2, which is what we're given. I'll show you 8-2 right here. Data 8-2. This is all of 8-2. It's just a simple text file with numbers. But we're going to take this file right here and perform the following tasks. One, we're going to calculate the total value of the first 30 data and display the result to the monitor. Okay, and then we're going to calculate the average of the first 30 data and display that result to one decimal place in the monitor. Alright, so what do I need to import? Well, obviously. Is that the same? One moment. Do I need to do it to one decimal? Oh, why not? I'm going to change this code on the fly. Text dot is a decimal format. I think it is decimal format. And we'll just do... that's the thing, guys. Always make sure to go through your code. We'll do format. What do I'll just DC format. Format DC is equal to new decimal 4 format. Format, please. Format, please. What do we want to do here? I guess I'll just do 0.0. Oh, that's right, yeah, because he wanted 1. I was like, why am I doing this? And then I realized. Alright, so we declared, as you can see, guys, we're going to import scanner, but we're also going to need file, because we're going to need a file, and we're going to import our decimal format. We name our class what we're doing, and we're just taking an input file average and sum, but mainly average. That's probably the most key part of this code, I think, is the average. Next, we have our system public static void main, just general function. But see here, this is something that a lot of people forget. It throws java.io.file.not-found-exception. You need this if you're going to be having files. Okay? Just know that you need this right now. That's all you need to know for right now. We'll get into details later. In here, we're going to declare our object of decimal format, and that's going to be our format right here, one decimal place. Our declaration of scanner input as an object, and but this time the input is going to be a new file, and this file is going to be the specific file that I downloaded right here that's specified. Double average, because an average is most likely going to be have decimal places. Integer sum, because as you know, we are only taking, I believe we're only taking integers. Yeah. I looked at the file anyway, so I know we're only taking integers. If I was careful, I would have put double, but we only need integers. Next, we also have our integer n, and the reason why I'm using n is because I'm using a while loop this time. And a while loop is declaring its variables, well, declare the variable you want to compare before it. So while n is less than or equal to 30, sum is going to be equal to sum plus the next integer, or n plus plus. And notice I have sum as 0 right now. And so what all this does is because you have to preset this to 0 for this to run, is right now it's 0, it's just going to take the number as it comes across and add it, and number and add it, and number and add it, until you get the final. And we do n plus plus until it gets to less than 30 because it wants the first 30. Our average is going to be equal to our sum divided by 30.0, obviously, because there's 30 numbers, and yeah. And next we're just going to output the sum of the numbers is plus the sum, and the average is plus the average. I thought this code was pretty simple. I don't think I need to explain too much here of what's going on. So let's move on. First, let me make sure it runs so I'm not bullshitting you guys. Alright. The sum of the numbers is 2,375, and the average is 79.166 repeated. Alright, next. We're just getting more fun as we go along. The longer the code gets, the more anxious I get. YouTube! Oh shit, I forgot to copy it. Copy! Alright. Assignment 8, Program 3. This program will read the student scores in a class from a file. This one is data 8.3 text. Click here to, and it's but also it's going to use a sentinel. It's going to use a sentinel loop. I'll show you guys what this is. It's going to perform the following task on the sentinel loop. It's going to display the number of students to the monitor and calculate the average of the class. Alright, here we go. So, we have, I have data 3, right? I do, okay. Alright, there we go. So those are the averages for each student. So we're going to import java.util.scanner, as always, java.io.file, and java.text.decimal format, because it also wants us to put the place to one decimal place. That's something. It's always good to memorize some of the main ones like util scanner, IO file, and text format or text decimal format. Next, we're going to name our class specific to what it's doing. It's going to take an input file average, and it's going to be just a sentinel loop. So I just put sentinel right here. We have our function, and because we're taking in a file, we're going to throw the Java file not found exception. We're going to create our object of the scanner class right here. But we're going to take input as a new file, and this file is going to be data 8_3.text. Next, we also create our object of our decimal format as a new decimal format, 0.0, because we want one decimal place. We declare our average as a double, our integer sum, our integer n, but this time we're also going to have an integer count. I could have used another thing, but I just used count to make it more simplified. So while n is not equal to -1, because that's what a sentinel loop is. It's just guarding against a single character right here. So as long as whatever you put in is not equal to that, or whatever it is not equal to that, then it'll keep running. So while n is not equal to -1, n is going to equal input.next integer. We're going to add the count every time so we can know how many students are there, and the sum will be equal to the sum plus the n number, and we declare sum as 0 up here. Alright, so after we run that and it comes across 1, we'll come down here and we'll average it, and that'll be the sum divided by however many it counted. And next we'll do this system.out.println. The sum is this plus the sum, the average is plus the average, but the average is going to be in decimal format, and the count is equal to whatever this count added up to. Alright, we cool? Cool. I tried to explain that. I know I'm going quickly. That's because my voice is dying out here. Remember, guys, I'm going to give you a second just analyze this code, run over it, pause the video, understand what I did here, because these loops are very key to understanding. Aha, and the sum is 3,426, the average is 76, and the count is 45. Let's check if that is right. Geez, okay, that's going to be wow. I wonder how many numbers are there. Oh, it's the last number. Oh. Hmm. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to check this one moment. So, guys, that was interesting. There is actually 45 numbers here. But I don't know if it wants us to add this. I don't know if it wants us to add this, but I'm going to assume maybe not. Or maybe, I don't know. Alright, well, I hope that. I'm just going to assume he wants us to add it, and we will add it and see what happens. But this is how you generally would do it. So it's kind of weird. So if he said he wanted to include that -1, or if the -1 did not want to be included, well, I'm not sure exactly what he was looking for. But as you can see, we're going to take it, but not. Alright, yeah. And that'll loop around. So let's think about this logically as we go through. Well, so all n has to be is not equal to -1. Takes this, if n isn't equal to -1, it'll still increase the count and it'll go right here. But, okay. So what we can do at the end is we can try to substitute for that. So we can just go, or could we? Yeah, I guess. So if he really doesn't want to include the -1, we could stop it. We could just subtract from count and add 1 to sum. That's what I might do. That's what I'm going to do. Count is equal to plus equals 1. I'm assuming. Nah, I'm not sure what he wants there, because it would be intuitive to try to go through if he wants us to do that. So I'm not sure if he wants us to do that yet. So I'm gonna send this to him today and ask him a little bit of advice about it. But I'll get back to you on that. Anyway, that's generally how you run it, as you see. Well, let's move on. If he does say something and it's not right, then I'll just make the video. Some of that just wasn't very clear, because if he wants you to include, yeah, I'll fix it. I'll get on it, guys. Hopefully he texts me back in time. Anyway, YouTube. Please spell YouTube right. Thank you. Please, can we copy it? There we go. This is assignment 8, program 4, ladies and gentlemen, the last program. The program will read a data file with unknown numbers of integers. This is going to be from the data 8-_2.txt. Click here to download. All it's the same as number 2, the problem. Perform the following tasks. Output the number of data to the file, or in the file to the monitor. Output the average value of the data in the file to the monitor. Oh, and display it to one decimal place. That's the key. So we're going to import scanner. We're going to take a file, so we need IO file, and we're going to need decimal format, or specifically text decimal format. We have our class. We're going to name our class what we're going to do, and we're going to just read an average. And we declare our first function right here, public static void main string of arguments. Oh, we already know all this. And remember, we're going to throw this right here because we're dealing with files. All right, we're going to declare as average as a double. Our integer count will be 0. We're going to have a new object of input, or scanner input specifically. Or we're going to have a new object of scanner. It's going to be called input. Sorry, I've been saying that wrong for a while. And that's just going to be a file, but that file will be called data. This is what the file is right here. Inside here is what the file is. That's the file. We will have our decimal format equal to our new decimal format 0.0, or specifically 1 decimal place. Alright, this is a class right here. We'll have our object of it, and we will have a new decimal format. There's a new, yes, declaring a new object of it, and then it'll be 0.0. That's confusing. Don't worry about it. That'll get into another chapter. That gets a little complicated because we'll get into object-oriented programming. Next, we have our integer n is going to be equal to 0. And we're going to have our double, our sum is going to be equal to 0. Notice, I did put double. I didn't need to put double, but I put double this time. But I don't need to. So, can you guess what I'm going to do? You dang right. I'm going to, actually, Do we need double? I'll declare that as integer and n is double. No. I'll double count and then declare n. I'll declare n as a double. There. Now it'll work. While the input has a next, and what this means, guys, is while input has next and dot has next is a string method, I believe, that we can use to for it comes true or false. So while this has another thing to input, it will keep running, and so while it does have next, n will be equal to the next one, or specifically the next integer. We're going to increase the count each time. We're going to the sum will be equal to sum plus n each time. And below here I have the average equal to sum divided by n. I did n as a double, so the average would be a double right here. And we have our system.out.println line. There was n numbers of there was n numbers, and the average is decimal format, our average. Okay. Should I do n? Wait, I have n. Oh no, see, that should be count. That should be count, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Alright, there were 50 numbers and the average was 50.6. I don't know if I believe that. Maybe I do. No, I don't. I don't believe that at one bit. I don't believe that one bit. Oh, that's why. It's because our sum is screwed up. Ha! Remember to recheck your variables. That's a lot better. There were 50 numbers and the average was 78.0. That's much better. That's more believable. Alright, so made a few small changes there, so we have to have the count because it counts the number of numbers. And obviously there was count numbers, and the average was decimal format, our average, and we have our average is equal to the sum divided by the count of those numbers. So yeah, that's cool. I think, alright, let me copy this and put it back in. You gotta be careful with that, you guys. You always gotta be careful. There we go. Did I change anything here? I wonder if I did. Screw it. I'm just going to recopy these and put them all back in. So that shows you guys, you always need to go over your code. Go over it. Go over the code. You guys should love coding at this point, you know? Coding's cool. It's fun. It's just amazing. You get to accomplish stuff. Bang. Here we go. That's right. Alright. So, this is all correct now. It should be. Wait, what was 4? Oh, ha! That's wrong. I have to redo that one. Alright, so let's redo that one. Let's screenshot it. Rectangular snip. Save it as assignment 8. Program. This is 4. Code. Yeah, I want to replace it. And let's also run it. And then we'll also screenshot it. This will also be assignment 8, program 4, but this time it'll be CMD. Hell yeah, let's replace it. Assignment 8, where's assignment 8, program 4? Aha, here we go. Alright, then we'll insert another picture, but this time it will actually be the CMD. Alright, there we go. Doesn't that look a lot better? There were 50 numbers and the average was 78. Whew. Guys, that was a close one. I'm still debating if that's right or not. And the reason being, no, that has to be right. Yeah, that has to be right. That's a solid right. Hope it's right. Alright. Yeah, I do think that's right. For sure. For sure, my dudes. Has to be. What if I just do this? What if I just do double? I just want to see if this will change the average at all. I want to continue for free. Yeah, alright. It won't change the average. So that's strange. If it says to display it to 1 decimal place, but see, generally what that means is that, no, because, I mean, it's all right, so. And it's 0.0, it's 1 decimal place. So yeah, it's all checks out. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to text Dr. Wang on what he means by the -1 and stuff, and yeah, I will get back to you guys in a bit. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, like and subscribe for more, and I will see you later. So yeah, peace.
I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Like and subscribe for more. I'll see you later.